Our people are the real treasures of this little island. If you travel across Jamaica, in every nook and cranny, you will find something unique and fascinating about the people you meet. That's our focus today on Jamaica Magazine, Our People, and how the government is supporting them to become world-class citizens. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. We have more right after the news.
Jamaicans! For Labor Day this year, we will work together for the children.
That's right.
In every community, let's show them that we care. By creating and upgrading public spaces,
So our children can feel safe.
to play, have fun, and bond together. So come on, Jamaica, let's work together. It's a labor of love.
Nurturing our children. This Labor Day, May 25th.
Good day, I'm Tamara McHale and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, May 20. A meteorological drought has not yet been declared for Jamaica, but government is still taking steps to help farmers weather the current dry spell. Agriculture Minister Derek Kelly made the announcement in Parliament this Tuesday.
We all pray for more rains, but while we pray, we are ensuring through these initiatives that crops on the ground can be safeguarded.
Initiatives include the trucking of over 400 loads of water to farmers in the most affected areas starting this week. It's part of a $10 million intervention by the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, which includes providing farmers with nearly 300 650-gallon water tanks.
This will complement the over $30 million that we have already allocated earlier this year to provide inputs to farmers island-wide under the Production Incentive Program.
Under the Rural Economic Development Initiative READY project, another 190 drip irrigation kits will be provided to farmers by the end of this month. READY is also spending $14.4 million to implement drip irrigation and fertigation systems on 30 acres of land at Braco in Trelawney and Plant and Garden River in St. Thomas. Progress is being made on plans to set up a national dental examination board which will ensure the highest quality dental exams in Jamaica. Health Minister Dr. Fenton Ferguson says this is being achieved through collaboration with the American Dental Examination Body ADEX and the Northeast Regional Examination Board. He says Jamaica is the first country outside mainland USA to become a member of ADEX.
This means that some of our graduates will be able to practice in the United States, and we can begin to look at options regarding training for export.
Dr. Ferguson says he will be meeting with the Ministry of Education along with the leadership of the universities of the West Indies and Technology to resolve challenges that are impacting the oral health training program. Deepening regional travel is high on the agenda at a World Tourism Organization meeting being attended by Portfolio Minister Dr. Wickham McNeil. The Tourism Minister is moderating the panel discussion on the issue at an international seminar being held in Haiti. He is also participating in the 58th meeting of the World Tourism Organization Commission for the Americas. Both events are jointly organized by the Haitian government and the UNWTO and include regional tourism leaders from countries such as Cuba, Colombia, Paraguay, and Guatemala. 7 Jamaican dancers have been offered scholarships as a result of government's 2015 Arts in the Park event on Sunday. The scholarships are to attend the American-based Martha Graham School of Contemporary Dance. Arts in the Park is designed to expose local acts to the global arena while moving towards monetizing the creative industry. This year's event was dubbed the Dance Edition.
Dance is not new to us as an action, but it's new to us as a business. Not many of us have taken it as a business. And so what we're trying to show is that all the talents that we have value in the market. And once a product has value in the market, it can become a business. And we have taken some persons who have made a lot of money from dancing to show us the way and to become intermediaries for us.
More than 30 Jamaican dance pieces were shown to international dance coaches and scouts at Sunday's staging of Arts in the Park. It was the 4th staging of the initiative, with the first installment focused on music. The second showcased the spoken word, and the third zeroed in on gospel music. Central Branch All Age in Kingston is the most recent school to get an enrichment center as part of a program to improve literacy rates in primary schools. It was established through a partnership involving the Education Ministry, Digicel Foundation, and the United States Agency for International Development, USAID. Through the enrichment centers, underperforming students in grades 1 to 3 benefit from individualized instruction and technology.
Nobody can take away the skills and the competencies that they will get from the enrichment room experience.
And finally, yet another call is being made for persons to actively protect the rights of Jamaica's children. Industry, Investment and Commerce State Minister Sharon Folks Abrams asserts that persons who know or suspect that a child is being abused and do not report the incident are also guilty. She was addressing a recent Human Rights and the Rights of the Child seminar for early childhood teachers in St. James.
We have to step out and protect our children. We cannot just sit by. Or not just children, anything we see going on. We need to be able to speak out against it. Find a safe way to report it. Find a safe way to tell somebody.
And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Tamara McHale. Thank you for watching.
When you're on the road, take your time. When you're on the road, bear this in mind. When you're on the road, you could save a life when you're on the road.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's where we all started when it was time to learn the basics of literacy. And yes, the basics will always be important. With the training of literacy specialists, students are getting much needed support to master this subject. This is one way the government is supporting our people through human capital development.
The National Literacy Team, with assistance from the United States Agency for International Development, to whom we are indebted, is providing direct support to 450 primary schools across the island through the deployment of 90 reading coaches at grades 1 to 3.
After that intervention, the Education Ministry is training another 66 literacy specialists with $1.4 million in funding support from the USAID.
What started last year was a special joint initiative between the US government and the Jamaican government in efforts to buttress the ministry's national literacy program, giving us the human resource that we need to actually hit the field full force over the next 2 years, the lifespan that remains for the program.
Work plan priorities for the first year focused on 3 fundamental areas of reading instruction, namely phonemic awareness, phonics instruction, and vocabulary development. Specialists were trained in the fundamental areas of literacy of assessment and diagnosis in reading.
For the second year of the work plan, they will be focusing on reading comprehension, reading fluency, and strategies and skills for development of writing among our students.
The 66 literacy specialists and another 12 literacy officers employed to the ministry are being equipped to train others called school-based literacy coordinators. They are being immersed in the ministry's National Comprehensive Literacy Program to ultimately help more students improve their reading and writing skills.
We particularly target these teachers because when we train them, they are expected to go back into their schools and train their colleagues in any of the fundamental areas of literacy that we would have trained them in.
We stopped by one such workshop for teachers being trained in Region 1, which comprises Kingston and St. Andrew.
And they're going to use transition words, finally, as soon as yesterday. It's important to get them to use transition words.
We are looking at a variety of topics. What we're looking at in this particular session is story writing, how we can implement it in our lesson plan so that our children are a little bit more excited about writing stories and having them organized. So by the time they reach grade 4, for the grade 4 literacy, they're very competent, and grade 6, we're looking for the 12 in the GSAT.
we've invited a range of teachers, coordinators, school-based literacy coordinators and teachers, because we wanted to impact the schools as far as possible. So what we're doing is we are trying to target the problem areas that the National Inspectorate report, Education Inspectorate report, has indicated that there's a lesson planning issue. We're looking at lesson planning. We're looking at how we can target key areas of literacy to improve not only teachers at the primary level, but also teachers at the secondary level. All regions across Jamaica are participating and facilitating a summer training workshop for literacy.
Well, many of the things that we're learning in the workshop are very essential to the students, because we learn, for example, differentiated instruction, where we are allowed to cater for the different needs, learning styles, interests.
Right now, this session we are going through has to do with expository writing. Now, this will help our students to be better writers in the classroom, and they can also be helping them to see how they can bring their experiences into their writing.
In just 1 year since the program was implemented, students' performance in the Grade 4 literacy test has jumped from 72% to 76%. All this bodes well for Jamaica as students improve in their reading and writing abilities. Using this past success as an indicator, the ministry is convinced that the work being done this fiscal year will lead to further improvements in literacy among students, supporting government's strategic priority of human capital development.
Hi, I'm Shauna Helps, Women's Girls School National Junior Sprinter. By now, you should know about the Tablets in School pilot project, in which students and teachers in 38 schools across Jamaica are provided with tablet computers by the government. This message is for those students who will benefit. Remember that the main purpose of the tablets is for improving education. Be conscious of your environment. Don't show off by using it on the road, while walking, or on the bus. Wait until you are at home or in a safe place, and do not use it when you are eating or drinking. Food and liquid on your device will ruin your chance of enjoying the most from it. Students, if you take care of your tablet, it will take care of you.
I'm sure we can all find unused electrical or electronic devices in our homes. So how do we prevent them from becoming a nuisance? Start by logging on to the National Solid Waste Management Authority's e-waste disposal program.
How have you been disposing of your electronic waste? Your old cell phones, computer equipment, chargers? The fact is, 20 to 50 million metric tons of electronic waste, or e-waste, is disposed worldwide every year, but is often discarded incorrectly. This, of course, can be detrimental because a large amount of electronic equipment contains different hazardous materials, which are harmful to human health and the environment.
Over the years, persons have been going away buying stuff, shipping, just buying and changing out just to match and to keep up with technology. So we have an accumulation of electronic waste on the island.
The National Solid Waste Management Authority, NSWMA, with funding from the Strategic Approach to International Chemicals Management, has begun the process of implementing a national program, the National Quick Start Program Trust Fund, for the sound management of e-waste.
The program itself is in 3 components that NSWMA will be looking at. We will be looking at the collection of electronic waste, the communication, how do we communicate to persons, the makeup and the ingredients, and the last part of this program basically is really to develop a take-back legislation to really address Jamaica's problem and to really tell persons, that includes the importers of electronic items, how is it that you are going to dispose of these items at the end of life?
To this end, the NSWMA has begun a 6-month pilot project where 7 communities in 2 parishes, St. Catherine and St. Andrew, are being informed about e-waste and the correct way to dispose of these materials, as well as generate an interest in preserving and caring for the environment. Sensitization activities have taken place in the communities to share the information and the publications printed to ensure that each one will reach one. The authority has also begun the process of collecting and sorting e-waste.
We started in March and we will end in September. It's a pilot project. We want to get the data. However, come October, we were asking persons to contact the NSWMA because we have to have something in place before the legislation takes place to really address electronic waste, because we don't want electronic waste to be mixed with the regular household waste that goes onto the disposal site. We want to store them separate, and you have persons who are in the business of exporting or breaking down electronic waste, and we are going to be partnering with these persons.
E-waste is being collected on the last Sunday of each month in both parishes. This means if you fall within the ambit of any of the communities mentioned, you can play your part in keeping Jamaica clean. If you live outside these communities, you may drop off your e-waste at special receptacles placed at the Dermason Plaza in Independent City, King Street in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, or at the NSWMA head office at 61 Halfway Tree Road, Kingston 10. The NSWMA is collecting CPUs, monitors, used and end-of-life cellular phones, tablets and laptops, printers, keyboards, chargers and cables only. Please ensure you remove personal information from the devices to be collected or dropped off. Know, however, that once it's passed through the NSWMA's magnetic system prior to being packaged for disposal, all data will be totally erased.
Persons are in general receptive. We are encouraged by it, but some persons are asking, they want money, they want compensation, they want an incentive for providing their electronic waste because they're saying they bought it at a price, but it's no use to them. So persons basically have it at home, and we're saying to dispose of it, free up the place, clean up the place, dispose of your electronic waste.
Earl Jones, president of the Duhaney Park Citizens Association, knows the importance of complying with the NSWMA. He's already seeing the benefits of ridding the community of e-waste.
I'm appealing to the entire Jamaica. Please cooperate. These people are here to help us to safeguard our health and the health of the environment.
For more information, call the NSWMA at 448-3220 or 1-888-253-2652. You may send an email to nswma@nswma.gov.jm or nswma1876@gmail.com.
Parents, take your place. Talk to your child about sex.
Jamaica, protect the children. Watch out for us on the road and make sure we use the sidewalk. Parents, teach us to cross the road properly. Protect the children. Make sure that we know where to go for help, for example, the nearest police station. Parents, make sure that we do not talk to or accept rides from strangers. Protect the children. Know where and with whom we are at all times, especially at night. Protect the children. help to make our communities safe places to live.
Preparing our youth and children to be business leaders and entrepreneurs, that's important in the 21st century. The University of Technology is not only providing students with a theoretical know-how, but also a practical space to put their ideas forward.
Creative and bold. These future marketers brought their A-game to the UTech Hospitality and Tourism Management Marketing Seminar. They were ready to showcase how they have retooled everyday treasures to build Jamaican brands.
This is no paper and pen exam, as the students will have to take center stage to convince judges, industry practitioners, their fellow students, and the general public that their innovative branding ideas are the way of the future for the tourism product.
Despite their nervousness, which the presence of the GIS camera did not help to ease, these professionals used all their talents and skills to stamp their brands on the audience.
We're jamming, dream yachts, cruise ships are a thing of the past. We're jamming, dream yachts, we'll provide you with a service that lasts.
For the first 2 weeks, we'll be offering a sample hour between 11 and 12, where you'll be getting bite-sized pieces of our delicious combos.
Now let me talk to the men. Don't you dare feel left out of this, because Almond caters to you as well. Have a rough day at work? Ooh, the massage oil is just for you. And then a very hot day in the evening? Oh, we have the right body lotion and hand cream just for you as well.
Set up shop, Backspin set up shop, Balrow set up shop.
From body care items to honey, even water, these are some of the products that the budding entrepreneurs are using to build Brand Jamaica.
Now, what we have done is we try to get youths, persons probably between the ages of 10 to 15 or 10 to 18, around that age group, who need some form of income. So when we start them up with starter hives in their various communities, they themselves will be able to produce honey and sell it back to us.
We offer a stain resistant and waterproof chef jacket. Also, the same quality and nanotechnology improvements towards our aprons and hats. And we're implementing a heat-resistant hats for that purpose.
The judges panel, of which the Jamaica Information Service played an integral role, reminded the presenters that linkages, especially with the local market, are essential to creating successful brands. They were also given important tips on what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur.
Apart from having the idea, you must be able to have the resources. You must be willing to take the risks. It must be innovative, and you must have passion.
Passion. Golden Thunder brought it and bowled the judges right over.
Bowling Thunder is the only bowling alley here in Jamaica. That's right, in Jamaica.
The confidence level was good, and because of that, we had some very good presentations. You guys really showed some creativity. The teamwork as well was good. Those groups that came on late, they presented late, they learned from the earlier groups and they capitalized on that.
So one of the things we want to demonstrate to our students is the importance of not just writing a resume, but becoming an entrepreneur. We see our program as a springboard, helping students to advance not just their academic, but a business lifestyle.
Jamaica's future looks bright with these students at the forefront of our business landscape, and the JIS is always ready to share our expertise and put innovative ideas in the spotlight.
Jamaica's beauty is our duty. Prevent bushfires during the windy, dry season. Remove firewood, dried grass, or bush away from your house. Never use fires to clear land. Never light a fire in an open area when it's windy. Ensure cigarette butts, matches, or other lighting materials are out before disposal. And use an ashtray. Don't throw cigarette butts out of your window. High winds and dry conditions can be a fiery combination. Lend a hand. Protect our land from fires.
As we continue to celebrate our children during Child Month, remember that their care and protection is our responsibility. If we turn our backs when our action could have made a difference, then our future is also in jeopardy. That's it from us for now. Jamaica Magazine returns tomorrow on this station. Keep in the know by using our Twitter and Facebook pages. And stay up to date on our other programs through our YouTube channel or the JIS website. You may also download the JIS News app for your smartphone. I'm Adrian Atkinson. On behalf of the entire team here at the JIS, stay safe and commit to making a positive difference in a child's life.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.